China has done what most people have only whispered about for years. It exposed the luxury industry, and it did it from the inside out. In the past few months, videos from Chinese manufacturers and factory workers have gone viral across platforms like TikTok and Douyin.
Louis Vuitton have many Chinese suppliers, but they don't admit it. 50% of Louis Vuitton bags are made in these two places.
Which Chinese factory supply for Louis Vuitton?
Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First,
some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China.
These weren't just random clips, they were behind-the-scenes footage of luxury-style items being produced in the very same facilities that allegedly manufacture products for some of the world's most recognized brands. But instead of going to high-end boutiques or luxury outlets, these items were being sold directly to consumers, at a fraction of the retail price. A pair of leggings that retail for $98 at Lululemon? In one of the clips, a Chinese factory worker reveals the same design, same stitching, same fabric being sold for under $8 straight from the factory floor.
Look, I just saw online there's an OEM factory and the boss said they produce for Lululemon, so you can get a legging from them just for $5. Don't get scammed. Big brands like Lululemon always keep track of their materials and don't leave much behind, so OEM factories can produce in bulk.
No fancy branding, no retail markup, just the product. And it didn't stop there. Quilted leather bags resembling Chanel's classic designs were shown being produced for about $40 per unit. And yet, those same styles fetch $5,000 or more in retail boutiques. The comparisons were too close for comfort. Even if the factories aren't the official suppliers, the message was loud and clear. People are massively overpaying for what are often simple, mass-produced items. That exposure struck a nerve because it pulled back the curtain on how luxury actually works. The truth is, most of the cost of luxury items isn't in the materials or the labor. It's in the middle. Once an item is manufactured, usually for just a few dollars, it goes through a long chain of markups. Exporters, importers, distributors, retail partners, showroom operations, and of course branding and advertising budgets that run into the millions. Each layer adds a percentage until a $20 pair of sneakers becomes $600. Not because the product changed, but because of how many hands touched it before you did. That's how middlemen quietly inflate everything. And that's where the illusion starts to crack. How China exposed luxury brands for ripping people off wasn't just a moment, it was a shift. A direct challenge to decades of brand control, pricing secrecy, and consumer manipulation. By going straight to the source and revealing the cost of production, China disrupted the entire narrative the luxury world has built its empire on. Brands like Lululemon and Adidas quickly issued statements distancing themselves from the factories featured in these videos. They emphasized that their products are only available through authorized sellers and that any resemblance to their designs is purely coincidental. But that wasn't enough to calm the storm, because even if those exact factories weren't under contract, they were still producing similar goods in the same regions, using the same machines, the same materials, and sometimes the same workers, and the price difference was too big to explain away. This controversy didn't arrive in a vacuum. It hit during a time of massive global financial tension. In the US, inflation is squeezing households. In China, economic growth has slowed, and in between them, a trade war is in full swing. With Trump's new wave of tariffs, many Chinese imports now face tax rates of 25% or more, some as high as 100%. That's forced luxury brands, who already operate on heavy markups, to raise prices even further to protect their margins. So what used to be a $1,500 designer item, it's now $1,800 or more, simply because of a tax added at the border. But here's the irony. Instead of discouraging buyers, these rising prices pushed more people to look for alternatives. And that's when they found the factory videos. That's when they found Temu, DHgate, and the growing army of direct-from-China sellers offering nearly identical items for a fraction of the price. And unlike the luxury brands, these sellers aren't pretending to offer heritage. They're selling value. They're saying, you don't have to overpay to look good. And for a generation of consumers already tired of inflation, debt, and financial pressure, that message hits. This is where perception meets reality. Because if a $5 item can be mistaken for a $500 one, what are you actually buying? Not quality, not rarity. You're buying a logo and the story that comes with it. And that story is losing its power. Especially when you consider that a majority of so-called luxury consumers aren't rich. They're aspirational shoppers, middle and upper middle class individuals who save up or finance these purchases as a symbol of achievement. But when they find out that their $2,000 bag could have been made for under $60 and that the worker who stitched it earned just a few dollars per day, it starts to feel like a scam. Even secondhand luxury platforms like The RealReal and StockX are now facing scrutiny. Buyers are questioning whether these items hold any true value if their actual production costs are this low. And resellers are finding it harder to justify price points in a market flooded with factory direct options. But here's the twist. This isn't just about price. It's about ethics. Because the luxury industry doesn't just hide production costs, it hides the labor conditions, the outsourcing decisions, the environmental impact, and the way profits are distributed. While CEOs and shareholders collect massive bonuses, the people actually making the products earn next to nothing. China's exposure brought that reality to the surface too. And the more people learn about what's behind the price tag, the less willing they are to keep paying for it blindly. Because once you realize that the cost isn't in the craftsmanship, it's in the middlemen, the marketing, the markups, you start to view luxury a little differently. You start asking, who's really benefiting when I spend this much? That doesn't mean luxury is going away. Let's be honest. People will always desire beautiful things. They'll still admire good design. But what's shifting is the reason behind the purchase. It's no longer just about the flex. It's about whether the item stands up to scrutiny. It's about value, not vanity. Blind luxury, the kind where no one asks questions, is dying fast. And in its place, something better might be rising. The new definition of luxury might look very different in the years ahead. It might be about ethical sourcing, where people know who made their clothes and under what conditions. It might be about fair pricing, where consumers aren't just paying for illusion, but for real quality. It might be about quiet craftsmanship, attention to detail you can see and feel, not just wear for approval. It might be about transparency over exclusivity. It might not come with a logo at all. In fact, the most luxurious thing you could own in the future might not be a designer bag, but peace of mind. Knowing your purchase wasn't about performance, but principle. Knowing you didn't overpay just to impress strangers. Knowing you supported something real. So what happens now? Luxury brands have two choices. They can double down, keep selling the dream, keep leaning into image, celebrity endorsements, curated mystique, and the same well-polished marketing script that's worked for decades. Or they can evolve, they can open up. Be honest. Be transparent about where their goods come from, what they actually cost, and why the pricing is justified. They can start respecting their customers instead of just selling to them, because whether they're ready or not, the audience has changed. Today's buyers aren't just shoppers, they're detectives. They scroll, they question, they compare. They know when they're being upsold, and if you lie to them or even hide too much, they'll go elsewhere, probably straight to the factory that just told them the truth.